Ma, what does your maid say, no match?
Noah Chen, 13, held up his phone. The DNA app glowed bright in the dim kitchen. Elena Chen, 44, froze at the stove. The spatula slipped. It clattered against the tile. Malcolm Chen, 46, set down his coffee. Let me see that. Noah handed it over. Malcolm's eyes moved across the screen. Once, twice. His jaw tightened.
Elena.
She didn't turn around. Her hands gripped the counter, knuckles white.
It's an error,
She said.
These apps make mistakes.
Do they?
Malcolm tapped the screen.
Then why did you delete the second test?
Elena's breath caught. Noah looked between them, back and forth, like watching strangers.
Mom?
She didn't answer. What else had she deleted?
Before we begin, if you could tap subscribe and like, it would mean so much to me. And if you don't mind, please leave a comment letting me know where you're listening from. May health and happiness find their way to you right where you are. All right then, let's begin today's story.
Chapter 2. The Word That Broke. Noah didn't come down for breakfast the next morning. Elena stood at the bottom of the stairs. Her hand rested on the railing. She didn't move. He heard us, Malcolm said from the kitchen doorway. His voice was flat. He was asleep. His door was open. 3 inches. Elena closed her eyes. Malcolm walked past her. His shoulder didn't touch hers. That was new. I'm calling the lab, he said. Getting a retest. Malcolm. Don't. He stopped on the second step. Didn't turn around. You had 14 years to explain. You chose silence. The stairs creaked under his weight. One step. Another. Then his footsteps overhead. Elena stood alone in the hallway. The coffee maker beeped. Done brewing. No one came for it. Upstairs, Malcolm knocked on Noah's door. Buddy? Can I come in? Silence. Noah. The lock clicked. The door opened 3 inches. Noah's face appeared in the gap. Eyes red. Hair flat on one side. Is it true? Noah's voice cracked. Is Mom not my mom? Malcolm's chest tightened. We're figuring it out. The app might be wrong. You don't believe that. Noah's eyes searched his father's face. I can tell. Malcolm had no answer. Dad? Noah's voice dropped to a whisper. Are you going to leave me too? What? No. Never. But if she's not my real mom. Noah's voice broke. Then maybe you're not my real dad either. Maybe I'm nobody's. Malcolm pushed the door open, pulled his son into his arms. You're mine, he said. Blood or not, you're mine. Noah's shoulders shook. Tears soaked into Malcolm's shirt. Down the hall, Elena stood frozen outside the bathroom. She heard everything. Her son hadn't called her mom once. That night, Malcolm sat at the kitchen table, laptop open, Elena's cloud account on screen. She had given him the password. No choice. The activity log loaded. January 5th. DNA test ordered. January 12th. Results received. January 12th. Second test ordered. January 19th. Results received. January 19th. Results deleted. January 19th. Account recovery disabled. Malcolm stared at the dates. She had known for 3 weeks. 3 weeks of dinners and homework help and goodnight kisses. 3 weeks of looking him in the eye. I can explain, Elena said from the doorway. Malcolm didn't look up. The second test, he said. What did it say? Silence. Elena, what did it say? Her voice came out small. The same thing. Malcolm closed the laptop. The click echoed. Who is Noah's biological mother? Elena's hands trembled. I don't know. You're lying. I'm not. You deleted evidence. You hid results. You've known for 3 weeks. Malcolm finally looked at her. You know something, and you're going to tell me. Or I'm calling a lawyer in the morning. Elena's face crumbled. There's a name, she whispered. On the old clinic paperwork. I found it years ago. I thought it was a mistake. What name? V. P. That's initials. Who is V? P? Elena didn't answer. Her eyes dropped to the floor. Malcolm stood up. His chair scraped against the tile. I'll find out myself. He walked past her. Didn't stop. Didn't touch. Elena stood alone in the kitchen. The refrigerator hummed. The clock ticked. Upstairs, Noah's light was still on. He hadn't come down once. 3 days passed. Noah ate alone in his room. Answered in single words. Kept his door locked. Elena tried everything. Honey, I made your favorite. Not hungry. Can we talk? Just 5 minutes. About what? I love you. You know that, right? Silence. On the fourth morning, Noah came downstairs, backpack on, eyes straight ahead. Elena stood at the stove. Pancakes, his favorite. Morning, sweetheart, I made. I'll eat at school. Noah grabbed an apple from the counter, walked toward the door. Noah, please. He stopped, hand on the doorknob, didn't turn around. Elena, one word, her name. Not Mom. The door opened. Close. His footsteps faded down the driveway. Elena stood frozen. The spatula dripped batter onto the floor. She didn't notice. Her son had called her by her first name. That was worse than silence. Chapter 3. V.P. The storage unit smelled like dust and cardboard. Malcolm pulled the chain. A single bulb flickered on. This is everything from the move, Elena said. She stood in the doorway, arms crossed. I haven't touched these boxes in years. Malcolm didn't answer. He started with the closest box. Baby clothes, photo albums, nothing useful. Second box, tax returns, old bills, nothing. Third box, fertility stuff. Elena said quietly, I kept everything, in case we needed it again. Malcolm opened the lid. Folders, medical records, receipts, and at the bottom, a manila envelope. He pulled it out. The paper was yellowed, brittle at the edges. Cryolab services, stamped in faded blue. Inside invoices, consent forms, procedure records. Malcolm spread them across a plastic tub. His flashlight moved from page to page. Here. His finger stopped. A small label, peeling at the corners, stuck to a specimen tracking form. 2 letters, handwritten in blue ink. V.P. That's it? Elena leaned closer. Just initials? There's more. Malcolm pointed to the corner of the form. A number. Batch 2847. Donor designation V.P. Elena's face went pale. That's not possible, she whispered. Why not? Because I used my own egg. That's what they told me. My eggs, your sperm. That's what we paid for. Malcolm looked at her. Then why is there a donor code on Noah's batch? Elena had no answer. Malcolm photographed every page. Then he found something else. A second label, hidden under the first. Older, different handwriting. E.P. E.P.? Malcolm frowned. What does E.P. mean? Elena stared at it. Her initials, Elena Park, before she married Malcolm Chen. This was supposed to be my egg, she said slowly. E.P. That's me. But someone put V.P. over it. Like they covered it up. Malcolm's jaw tightened. Who is V.P. Elena? She didn't answer. You know. I can see it on your face. I'm not sure. Don't lie to me again. Elena closed her eyes. V.P. Her voice cracked. Vivian Park. Malcolm went still. Your sister? Yes. Your sister's eggs are inside our son? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know how. Did you ask her? Did you take them? No, I would never. Then how did this happen? Malcolm's voice rose. How did your sister's donor code end up on our son's records? Elena's hands shook. I don't know. That's not good enough. I don't know. Tears streamed down her face. I swear, Malcolm, I didn't know until right now. I thought the V was a typo, a processing error. I never imagined. You never imagined what? That the clinic switched eggs? That your sister is Noah's biological mother? That our entire family is built on. He stopped. Elena was sobbing, silent, shoulders heaving. Malcolm turned away, stared at the wall of boxes. 14 years. 14 years of raising a son, loving a wife, building a life. All of it based on records that someone had tampered with. We need to talk to Vivian, he said finally. Elena wiped her face. She'll hate me. Maybe she should. Elena flinched like he had slapped her. Malcolm gathered the papers, shoved them into the envelope. I'll call her tomorrow. You can come. Or not. Your choice. He walked past her, out of the storage unit, into the sunlight. Elena stood alone in the dust and darkness. Her phone buzzed. A notification from Noah's DNA app. Close match found Vivian Park. Elena's knees buckled. She grabbed the shelf. Barely stayed standing. Her son had found his aunt, or rather his biological mother, and Elena hadn't told him yet. Chapter 4. The clinic smiles. Meridian Fertility Center looked like a spa. Soft music, orchids in crystal vases, leather chairs that probably cost more than Malcolm's car. Dr. Helen Hart walked in with a smile. 52. Silver hair in a perfect bun. Lab coat crisp and white. The kind of doctor who appeared on magazine covers. Mr. and Miss Chen. She extended her hand. It's been years. How can I help? Malcolm didn't shake it. We have questions about our son's conception. Dr. Hart's smile didn't waver. Of course. Let me pull your file. She sat behind her desk, typed something, waited. Ah, yes. Noah Chen, born April 2011. Standard IVF. Your eggs, Chen. Your sperm, Chen. Successful first transfer. That's not what the records say. Malcolm placed the storage envelope on her desk. Dr. Hart glanced at it. Her smile stayed frozen. I'm not sure what you mean. Donor code VP. Malcolm tapped the label. Covered our records. Someone switched the designation. That appears to be a clerical error. Our son's DNA test shows my wife is not his biological mother. Silence. Dr. Hart's smile finally cracked. Just for a second. DNA tests can be unreliable. We ran 3. All the same result. Dr. Hart leaned back. Her chair creaked. When she spoke again, her voice was different, harder. Mr. Chen. Miss Chen. I understand you're upset. But Meridian has served thousands of families. We don't make mistakes. Then explain this. Malcolm pushed the envelope closer. Dr. Hart didn't touch it. I'm afraid I can't discuss internal records without a court order. We're Noah's parents. These are our records. Your records show a successful IVF. Anything else is protected by patient privacy laws. Elena leaned forward. What about Vivian Park? Is she in your system? Dr. Hart's eyes flickered. Just once. I can't confirm or deny. She's my sister. Even so, privacy regulations. Did you use her eggs without consent? The room went cold. Dr. Hart stood up, walked to the door, opened it. I think we're done here. We're not done until we get answers. Then get a lawyer. Dr. Hart's smile returned. Empty. And sign an NDA before you leave. Standard procedure for all consultations. Malcolm didn't move. We're not signing anything. Then security will escort you out. 2 men appeared in the hallway. Suits. Earpieces. Not friendly. Elena grabbed Malcolm's arm. Let's go, she whispered. We'll find another way. Malcolm stared at Dr. Hart. Memorized every line on her face. This isn't over. I'm sure it isn't. Dr. Hart's voice was silk over steel. But be careful, Mr. Chen. Accusations have consequences. For everyone. She glanced at Elena, especially for mothers with secrets. Elena went pale. Malcolm pulled her toward the exit. The security guards followed 3 steps behind. In the parking lot, Elena's hands wouldn't stop shaking. She knows. Elena whispered. She knows everything. More than us. What do we do? Malcolm opened the car door. We find Vivian. Before they do, his phone buzzed. Unknown number. Text message. Drop this. Or Noah pays the price. Malcolm's blood went cold. Elena saw his face. What? What is it? He showed her the screen. She stopped breathing. A second text arrived. A photo. Noah. Walking out of school. Backpack on. Looking at his phone. Taken 30 minutes ago. They're watching our son, Elena whispered. Malcolm started the car. Tires screeched. They were halfway home when the third text came. 14 years of lies, Elena. How much more can your family take? Chapter 5. Blood is blood. Vivian Park opened the door on the third knock. 41. Thinner than Elena remembered. Dark circles under her eyes. Elena, no warmth, no surprise. It's been 4 years. I know. I'm sorry. I should have called, but you didn't. Vivian leaned against the doorframe. So why now? Malcolm stepped forward. We need to talk about your eggs. Vivian's face changed. Her body went rigid. I don't know what you're talking about. Meridian Fertility, 2010. You were in their system. I was never a donor. V.P. Your initials. On our son's records. Silence. Vivian's eyes moved to Elena, then back to Malcolm. Come inside. The apartment was small, clean. A single photo on the wall, Vivian and Elena as teenagers. Before everything went wrong. Vivian sat on the couch, arms wrapped around herself. I was 26. she said quietly. Broke. Between jobs. Meridian offered $5,000 for egg preservation. Preservation? Malcolm leaned forward. Not donation? Storage only. That's what I signed. They said it was for women who wanted to freeze their eggs for later, in case of illness, career reasons, whatever. But they use them anyway. Vivian's jaw tightened. I found out 3 years ago. Got a letter from some genealogy site. Congratulations. You have genetic matches. 3 of them. Kids I never agreed to create. Elena's hands trembled. 3? At least. Could be more. I stopped looking. Malcolm pulled out his phone. Showed Noah's DNA results. This is our son. Your genetic match. Vivian stared at the screen. He looks like me, she whispered. Around the eyes. He's Elena's son, Malcolm said firmly. She raised him. She loved him. But we need to understand how this happened. Vivian laughed. Short. Bitter. How it happened? Meridian happened. They took my eggs. Labeled them anonymous donor. Sold them to whoever paid enough. We paid for Elena's eggs. That's what the contract said. Contracts don't mean anything to them. Vivian stood up. Walked to the window. They're a factory. Eggs in, babies out. Money in their pockets. Nobody checks. Nobody audits. And if anyone asks questions, they threaten them. Elena finished. Vivian turned around. They contacted you. Photos of Noah outside his school. Vivian's face hardened. Then you're already in too deep. We're going to fight them. With what? They have lawyers, records, friends in every regulatory agency. You have a storage unit full of old paperwork. Malcolm stood up. We have the truth. Truth doesn't win lawsuits. Money does. Then we'll find more evidence. There's a former employee, Tessa. She mentioned label tampering. Vivian's eyes narrowed. Tessa Morrison? You know her? She called me 2 years ago. Said she had proof. Documents. Log files. Everything. Where is she now? Vivian's voice dropped. She disappeared. Left her job. Changed her number. Gone. Elena felt her hope crumbling. So there's nothing we can do? Vivian walked to a closet, pulled out a shoebox. Tessa sent me something before she vanished. I never opened it. Too scared. She handed the box to Malcolm. Inside a USB drive. A handwritten note. Insurance policy. In case they come for me, too. Malcolm looked at Vivian. Why didn't you use this? Because I'm alone. No husband. No lawyer. No money. They would have destroyed me. Vivian's eyes moved to Elena. But you have something I didn't. What? A family worth fighting for. Elena's eyes filled with tears. Vivian, I'm so sorry. For everything. For not calling. For not knowing. For. Save it. Vivian's voice cracked. Just promise me one thing. Anything. When you burn them down. Vivian's jaw set. Make sure they feel it. Malcolm pocketed the USB drive. They will. Chapter 6. The Mother's Sin. The USB drive contained 3 folders. Malcolm opened the first. Spreadsheets. Hundreds of rows. Batch numbers. He muttered. Dates. Codes. And look. He pointed to a column. Original designation. Covered designation. These are label swaps. Elena leaned closer. Her finger stopped on row 2847. That's Noah's batch. Original E. P. Covered V. P. Authorized by H. Malcolm said. Helen Hart. Elena's stomach turned. The second folder was worse. Emails. Client requests. Premium genetic. Use batch 2847. Strong academic markers. Cover original designation. Standard procedure. Premium genetics. Like grocery shopping. The third folder was audio files. Malcolm clicked the first one. A woman's voice. Nervous. Young. I only signed for storage, not donation. This isn't what I agreed to. Then Dr. Hart's voice. Smooth. Practiced. The consent form covers all contingencies. Read paragraph 7. Clinic reserves right to utilize specimens for research and reproductive purposes. You signed it, Miss Park. I didn't understand. That's not our problem. Click. End of recording. Elena's hands were shaking. She knew. She's known the whole time. Malcolm opened another file. This one was different. A phone call. Background noise. Muffled. Then Elena's voice. Younger. Desperate. Please. We've tried everything. 6 rounds of IVF. Nothing works. My eggs aren't viable. Dr. Hart's response. There are other options. Donor eggs. We have excellent matches. How do you get them? Verified donors. Full consent. Completely ethical. And no one would ever know? Complete confidentiality. Your husband never needs to find out. The child will look like you. We match physical characteristics. He'll assume it's your egg. Long pause. Then Elena's voice. Barely a whisper. Do it. Malcolm stopped the recording. The room was silent. Elena couldn't breathe. I can explain. You knew. Malcolm's voice was ice. You knew from the beginning. I didn't know they would use Vivian's, but you knew it wasn't your egg. You paid them to lie. You told me for 14 years that Noah was ours. Both of ours. Equally. He is ours. You made that choice without me. Malcolm stood up. His chair crashed backward. You looked me in the eye. Every day, every birthday, every parent-teacher conference. And you lied. I wanted a baby. Our baby. I wanted it so badly. So you stole your sister's eggs? I didn't steal them. I didn't know it was hers. They said anonymous donor, but you never told me there was a donor. Silence. Elena was crying now. Ugly. Broken. I was afraid. Afraid you'd leave. Afraid you'd love him less. Afraid our family wasn't real. It wasn't real, Elena. That's the point. Noah is real. Our love is real. I raised him. I held him when he was sick. I taught him to ride a bike. I was there for every nightmare, every scraped knee, on a foundation of lies. Elena crumbled, slid to the floor, sobs shaking her whole body. Malcolm stared at her. The woman he married, the mother of his son, a stranger. Does Vivian know? He asked finally. That you chose this? Elena nodded. Couldn't speak. That's why you stopped talking. 4 years ago. She found out. Another nod. Malcolm walked to the window. Outside, the sun was setting. Orange light on ordinary houses. Ordinary families eating dinner. Ordinary lives built on ordinary truths. His life was none of those things. I'm not leaving Noah, he said quietly. He's my son. Blood or not. Elena looked up. Hope flickered. But you. Malcolm turned to face her. I don't know who you are anymore. Malcolm, please. I need time, space, to think, to decide if this marriage is worth saving. It is. I swear it is. I'll do anything. Then tell Noah the truth. All of it. Tomorrow. Elena's face crumpled. He'll hate me. Maybe. But he deserves to know. Malcolm picked up the USB drive, walked toward the door. Where are you going? Hotel. For tonight. He stopped, hand on the doorknob. Maybe longer. The door opened, closed. Elena sat alone on the floor. Her secret was finally out, and it had cost her everything. Chapter 7. The boy they tried to steal. Noah found the message 3 days later. Instagram. Private request. Profile picture of a woman in a white coat. Hi, Noah. I know this is strange, but I have information about your biological family. Information your parents have been hiding. Would you like to know the truth? Noah stared at the screen. His thumb hovered over delete. Then he thought about the past week. Mom crying in her room. Dad sleeping at a hotel. Neither of them explaining anything. It's complicated. We'll tell you when you're ready. Trust us. Trust them? He didn't even know who they were anymore. Noah pressed accept. The messages came fast after that. Your biological mother is a woman named Vivian Park. She didn't abandon you. Her eggs were stolen. Your parents knew. They've been lying your whole life. Noah typed back. How do you know this? I'm Dr. Helen Hart. I worked at the clinic where you were conceived. I have documents. Proof. Why are you telling me? Because you deserve the truth. And because your parents are about to do something very dangerous. They're planning to blame innocent people for their own choices. What do you mean? Your mother, Elena, she paid for stolen eggs. She knew what she was doing. Now she's trying to destroy the clinic to cover her tracks. If she succeeds, Dozens of families will be torn apart, including yours. Noah's hands were trembling. I don't believe you. Then meet me. See the evidence yourself. I can introduce you to Vivian, your real mother. She's not my real mother. DNA doesn't lie, Noah. Blood is blood. Don't you want to know where you really came from? Noah closed the app, opened it again. Read the messages 3 more times. His chest hurt, like someone was squeezing his heart. When can we meet? The coffee shop was 15 minutes away by bus. Noah told his mom he was going to Tyler's house. She was too distracted to check. Dr. Hart was already there. Corner booth, 2 cups of coffee. Noah. She smiled. Warm, almost motherly. Thank you for coming. I want to see the proof. Of course. She slid a folder across the table. Your conception records. Your mother's payment history. The consent forms she signed knowing full well the eggs weren't hers. Noah opened the folder. Pages of medical jargon, numbers, dates. One page stood out. A check. Elena Chen, $15,000. Memo line. Donor egg procedure. She paid for you. Dr. Hart said softly, like buying a product. And the woman who actually gave her eggs, your biological mother, never consented. Never knew you existed until now. Noah felt sick. Why are you showing me this? Because your parents are going to court. They're going to claim the clinic committed fraud. They're going to destroy careers, ruin lives, all to protect their own lies. Maybe the clinic did commit fraud. Dr. Hart's smile thinned. The clinic followed every legal procedure. Your parents are the ones who lied. To you. To each other, to everyone. Then why are you scared of court? Silence. Dr. Hart's mask slipped, just for a second. I'm not scared. I'm trying to protect innocent people. Like who? Like the other children. Dozens of families who used our services. If your parents win, every one of those families will be investigated. Every child will question their identity. Is that what you want? Noah didn't answer. Dr. Hart leaned closer. I need your help, Noah. Just one small thing. What? A statement, in your own words, saying that your mother Elena told you about the donor eggs when you were younger, that she was honest from the beginning, but she wasn't. Does it matter? She's still your mother. She still raised you, loved you. One small lie to protect your family. That's all. Noah stared at her. You want me to lie. In court, I want you to protect the people you love by helping everyone. Noah stood up. The chair scraped against the floor. My mom lied to me. My dad lied to me. And now you want me to lie for them? Noah. No. His voice cracked. I'm done with lies. All of them. He turned toward the door. Dr. Hart's voice followed him. Sharper now. Walk out that door and I can't protect you anymore. Noah stopped. Protect me from what? The truth, Noah. The full truth. About what your mother really did, what she's capable of. Are you sure you want to know? Noah's hand touched the door handle. Outside, a car was parked at the curb. Dark windows, engine running. His phone buzzed. Dad? Noah, where are you? Mom said you went to Tyler's. Tyler's mom said you never showed up. Noah answered. Dad? I'm at the coffee shop on Main. Someone's here. Someone from the clinic. Stay there. Don't move. I'm coming. The line went dead. Noah turned around. Dr. Hart was gone. Her coffee cup was still steaming, and the folder was missing. Chapter 8. The server room. Malcolm's car pulled up in 90 seconds. Noah was standing on the sidewalk. Pale, shaking. Get in. Noah climbed into the passenger seat. The door slammed. What happened? What did she say? She wanted me to lie. Say Mom told me about the donor eggs. Like she was honest. Malcolm's hands tightened on the wheel. And you said no? I said no. Malcolm exhaled. His whole body sagged with relief. Good. That's good. Dad? Noah's voice was small. She had a folder with Mom's check. $15,000 for donor eggs. Malcolm didn't answer. It's true, isn't it? Mom knew. She knew the eggs weren't hers. Yes. And you didn't? No. I found out the same time you did. Noah stared out the window. Houses blurred past. Why didn't she just tell me? Tell both of us. I don't know, buddy. Fear, shame, love, all of it mixed together. That's not an excuse. No, it's not. They drove in silence. Then Noah spoke again. The clinic lady, Dr. Hart. She's trying to destroy evidence. I could tell. She's scared. Malcolm glanced at him. How do you know? Because she took the folder when she left, like she didn't want anyone else to see it. Malcolm's mind raced. The USB drive, the label swaps, the audio recordings, all of it was digital. But the original files, the server logs, the paper records, those were still at Meridian. Noah, did she say anything about the clinic? Where they keep records? She mentioned a server room, said something about cleaning up before the lawsuit. Malcolm pulled over, grabbed his phone. Who are you calling? Tessa, the former employee. If they're destroying evidence, she needs to know. Tessa Morrison answered on the first ring. Mr. Chen, I was hoping you'd call. They're cleaning the servers. Tonight, probably. I know. I still have a badge. It shouldn't work anymore. But Meridian's security is a joke. Can you get in? I can try, but I need backup. Someone to watch the door, and someone to document everything legally. My wife. She can film it. Your wife? Tessa hesitated. After everything she did, she's the reason we're in this mess. She should be part of fixing it. Long pause. Meet me at the back entrance, midnight, and bring a lawyer if you can get one. The line went dead. The back door of Meridian Fertility Center looked ordinary. Elena stood beside Malcolm. Her face was gaunt. She hadn't slept in days. I shouldn't be here, she whispered. You should. This is your chance to make things right. What if we get caught? Then we get caught together. The door clicked. Tessa's face appeared. Badge worked. Come on. They moved through dark hallways. Emergency lights cast red shadows. The server room was in the basement. A reinforced door. Keypad lock. Tessa typed a code. Changed it last month, but I watched over Dr. Hart's shoulder. The door opened. Inside rows of humming machines. Blinking lights. The hum of cooling fans. And in the corner boxes, paper files, labeled by year. They haven't shredded these yet, Tessa said. Start filming. Elena raised her phone, hands shaking. Red light on. Malcolm moved to the computers. Tessa sat beside him. Log files are here. Batch tracking. Label modifications. Her fingers flew across the keyboard. And look. She pointed to a column. Authorized overrides. Every swap has a signature. H. Malcolm read. Helen Hart, 19 times in 2010 alone. 19 batches. 19 families who got the wrong eggs. Malcolm plugged in a USB drive. Files started copying. Elena moved to the paper boxes, started photographing labels. These go back 15 years, she whispered. How many people did they do this to? Hundreds, Tessa said. Maybe more. The premium clients paid extra for genetic matching. What they didn't know was that matching meant stealing from other patients. Like your sister. Malcolm's drive beeped. Complete. Let's go. They moved toward the door and froze. Footsteps. Getting closer. Someone's coming, Elena whispered. Tessa looked around, pointed to a supply closet. In there. Don't move. Don't breathe. They squeezed inside. The door closed. Darkness. The server room door opened. Two voices. Male. Security guards. Dr. Hart said to box everything. Truck comes at 6 a.m. That's 4 hours of work. Then we better start. Tape. Boxes. Heavy footsteps. Malcolm held his breath. Elena's hand found his. Cold. Trembling. For 20 minutes, they listened. Finally, the guards left. Coffee break, one said. 20 minutes. The door closed. Tessa cracked the closet open. Now or never. They ran. Through the hallway, past the back door, into the parking lot. Elena's car started. Tires screeched. Malcolm looked back. A figure stood in the doorway. Dr. Helen Hart, watching them. Smiling. Chapter 9. The Courtroom War. Judge Patricia Reeves looked tired. 63. Silver-rimmed glasses. A face that had seen every kind of human cruelty and expected more. This is an emergency hearing, she said. Not a trial. I want facts, not drama. Malcolm sat at the plaintiff's table, Elena beside him. Their lawyer, Grace Kim, 45, former federal prosecutor, stood ready. Across the aisle, Dr. Helen Hart, 3 attorneys in matching suits. Confident smiles. The gallery was packed. Reporters, other parents, Vivian in the back row, and Noah. He had insisted on coming. Malcolm couldn't say no. Your Honor, Grace began. We are seeking an immediate injunction against Meridian Fertility Center. They are actively destroying evidence of systematic fraud. Objection. Dr. Hart's lead attorney stood. Richard Vance, 60. Silver hair. The kind of lawyer who cost more per hour than most people made in a week. This is a desperate attempt to cover my client's own misconduct. What misconduct? Elena Chen knowingly purchased donor eggs under false pretenses. She deceived her husband, deceived the clinic, and now she's trying to blame everyone but herself. Judge Reeves raised an eyebrow. Is this true, Mrs. Chen? Grace spoke first. My client made mistakes. She admits that. But her personal choices don't excuse Meridian's systematic fraud. Let Miss Chen answer. Elena stood. Her legs barely held her. Yes, Your Honor. I knew the eggs weren't mine. I authorized the procedure without telling my husband. Murmurs in the gallery. But I never knew whose eggs they used. I was told it was an anonymous donor. I didn't know they had stolen from my sister. I didn't know they had done this to dozens of other families. Convenient, Vance said. You only became concerned when you got caught. I became concerned when I learned the truth. The truth? Vance smiled. Cold. Let me show you the truth. He pressed a button. A screen lit up. Elena's voice filled the courtroom. Complete confidentiality. Your husband never needs to find out. The recording from Tessa's USB. She admits it, Vance said. She paid for lies. Now she wants us to pay for her choices. The gallery erupted. Judge Reeves banged her gavel. Order! Elena's face was gray. She looked at Malcolm. He didn't look back. This was the moment. The rock bottom. Grace stepped forward. Your Honor, my client's recording proves she was deceived. She asked for confidentiality, but she was told the eggs came from verified, consenting donors. That was a lie. Prove it. Grace nodded at Malcolm. He stood, walked to the evidence table, picked up the USB drive. This drive contains Meridian's internal logs, label swaps, batch modifications, 19 families in 2010 alone whose eggs were switched without consent. Objection. That evidence was illegally obtained. It was obtained from a former employee, a whistleblower with personal knowledge of the fraud. Judge Reeves frowned. I'll allow it provisionally. Grace plugged in the drive. The screen changed. Spreadsheets, columns, numbers. Batch 2847. Original designation E.P. Elena Park. My client's maiden name. Covered designation V.P. Vivian Park. Authorized by H.H. Helen Hart. She clicked to the next screen. Audio recordings. Dr. Hart negotiating fees for premium genetics. Dr. Hart threatening patients who asked questions. The recording played. Consent form covers all contingencies. You signed it, Miss Park. Dr. Hart's face went pale. That's out of context, is it? Grace clicked again. Here's another recording. Dr. Hart instructing staff to cover original labels for VIP clients. Shall I play it? Your Honor, this is. Let her play it. The courtroom fell silent. Dr. Hart's voice. Clear. Unmistakable. Cover the original labels. Use the V.P. stock. VIP client wants specific markers. Make it happen. Silence. Then, chaos. Reporters typing, parents crying, attorneys shouting. Judge Reeves banged her gavel. Again. Again. Order! The room quieted. Dr. Hart stood up. Her composure cracked. This is entrapment. These recordings were made without consent. My attorneys will. Your attorneys will sit down. Judge Reeves' voice was ice. This court has seen enough. She turned to Malcolm. Mr. Chen, the injunction is granted. Meridian Fertility Center is barred from destroying any records. State investigators will be notified. And Dr. Hart. She looked at the woman in the white coat. I suggest you find a criminal defense attorney. You're going to need one. Dr. Hart's face collapsed. Not the confident smile anymore. Not the polished professional. Just a woman watching her empire burn. Grace gathered her files. We're done here. Outside the courthouse, cameras flashed. Reporters shouted questions. Microphones thrust forward. Malcolm ignored them all. He walked to the bench where Noah sat, alone. You okay, bud? Noah didn't answer. His eyes were fixed on the courthouse door. Elena stood there, surrounded by lawyers, by reporters, by the consequences of her choices. She lied to us. Noah said quietly. Both of us. Yes, but she's still my mom. Yes. Noah looked up at his father. Is that enough? Malcolm sat down beside him. I don't know, but I think that's up to you. Chapter 10. Chosen. 3 months later, Dr. Helen Hart pleaded guilty to 47 counts of fraud. 15 years. Federal prison. Meridian Fertility Center closed its doors permanently. 19 families filed lawsuits. 8 more were still counting. Tessa Morrison testified in exchange for immunity. She started a foundation for donor rights. Vivian Park met her biological children, all 4 of them. It wasn't easy, but it was a start. And the Chen family? They were still figuring it out. Elena moved into an apartment downtown. Not a divorce. Not yet. Just space. She lost her job when the news broke. Started over at a nonprofit. Half the salary. Twice the purpose. Every Sunday she picked up Noah for breakfast. He didn't call her mom anymore. Not Elena either. He didn't call her anything, but he still showed up. That was something. Malcolm stayed in the house. Same kitchen, same table, same chair where everything fell apart. He thought about selling. Couldn't do it. Too many memories. Good ones. Buried under the pain. Noah's first steps. Birthday parties. Homework at this table. Real moments. Real love. Built on lies, but real anyway. One Sunday in June, Noah didn't go to Elena's. Can we talk? He asked Malcolm. All 3 of us? Malcolm called Elena. She came in 20 minutes. They sat in the living room. The same couch where they used to watch movies together. Before, Noah stood in the middle. I've been thinking, he said, about family, about what it means. Elena's hands twisted in her lap. Malcolm waited. Blood is real, Noah continued. DNA doesn't lie. Vivian is my biological mother. That's a fact. Elena flinched. But facts aren't everything. Noah turned to his father. You didn't know the truth. You got lied to. Same as me. But you never left. You never stopped being my dad. Malcolm's eyes burned. Noah turned to Elena. You lied. For 14 years. You kept the biggest secret of my life from me. Elena's tears fell. Silent. I was so angry. I still am. Sometimes. Noah's voice cracked. But I also remember everything else. Every time you stayed up when I was sick. Every time you helped with homework, every time you said you loved me. He paused. Did you mean it? Elena couldn't speak, just nodded. Then maybe that's what matters. He walked to her, stood in front of her. I'm not ready to forgive you. Not completely. Maybe I never will be. Elena looked up at him, waiting for the final blow. But I'm ready to try. He sat down next to her. Close. Not touching, but close. Elena's breath caught. I don't deserve this. She whispered. Maybe not. Noah looked at his father. But family isn't about deserving. It's about choosing. Malcolm stood up, walked to the couch, sat on Noah's other side. 3 people, broken, scarred, still bleeding, but together. Later that night, Noah went to bed. Malcolm and Elena sat in the kitchen. Coffee getting cold. What happens now? She asked. I don't know. Do you hate me? Malcolm considered the question. I did. For a while. Maybe I still do. Sometimes. But I also remember why I married you, why I loved you, why I chose you. Past tense? I don't know what tense it is anymore. He looked at her. Really looked. But I'm willing to find out. Elena's hand reached across the table. Malcolm didn't take it. Not yet. But he didn't pull away either. 1 year later, Noah's 14th birthday. 3 cakes. 3 houses. Vivian brought a genetics book for when you're ready to understand the science. Elena brought a photo album, baby pictures, first day of school, every milestone. Malcolm brought a fishing rod. For next summer, just us. Noah looked at the table. 3 cakes. 3 families. 3 kinds of love. This is weird, he said. Yeah, Malcolm agreed. It is. But good weird? Malcolm looked at Elena, at Vivian. At the strange, broken, beautiful mess they had become. Good weird. Noah cut the first cake. Chocolate, his favorite. Can I say something? He asked. Everyone waited. Blood is where I came from. Mom is who raised me. Vivian is who gave me life. He looked around the table. But family? Family is who stays. He raised a fork of cake. To staying. Elena lifted her cup. To staying. Vivian smiled. To staying. Malcolm put his hand on Noah's shoulder. To staying. They ate cake. 3 families. 1 boy. A love bigger than lies. Outside, the sun was setting. But for the first time in a long time, it felt like a beginning.